Hi, this is Barry Anderson from the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room. It is Thursday, May the 7th. This is the address to get into our room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, a pretty exciting day in the room. A lot of the optimized strategies that are in this list are really starting to work well. Now, I didn't take very many of them. One of the reasons is that I've got a lot of other things going on, and I flat out tend to miss them. I have other discretionary strategies that I have had, from my probably my 5 years at Trade Ideas, developed from almost day one. But I keep saying this, but I think I'm really ready to pull the cord on a lot of them and just absolutely concentrate on these because there are just too many good alerts that I am missing. I'll get into that a little bit more, but first let's take a look at some of the trades that I did today, or well, the trades I posted in the room anyway. And I am still in one trade. I have to keep an eye on it just a little bit. ATSG, but anyway, Alibaba had their earnings, and the market liked it. This has been one that's been just kind of crushed. It's been sitting around the $80 level. Yesterday it dipped below 80, came back down, and then here are the earnings released before the market opened today, and they just exploded up almost $8 or almost $10 at one point. So I got in with a very little scalp on this. I took it at 88.10 when it broke through 88. Yes, it's a chase, absolutely, but it just looks strong. Got out at 88.63, and then this action right here whipped me out, unfortunately. And then now, as it was explained to me later on, these are just a lot of trades that hadn't been posted yet, and so they get filtered in here, and it looks like it dry like because you look at the SPY at the same time. I think if I bring up SPY at the same time, you are going to see. Okay, don't make a liar to me. Well, this. Just a second here. Yeah, right here. No, not right there. Just got to find it. Yeah, right there. You see how this tail came down? Well, you'll see a lot of stocks like that. And it just kind of whipped me out. But really, the bid ask was hanging tough. And I didn't notice it. It's a lesson for me that I've now learned that just because you see this sort of action, it does not really mean that the stock is trading down there because it just immediately pops up. Anyway, that's just an aside. Let's get on to the more exciting things that I did today. Gevo was the number one trade of the day, I guess. 5 minute chart. Now, Gevo, we had noticed in the pre-market they had an announcement, something to do with Alaska Airlines and fuel that Alaska Airlines will be using. I'm not exactly sure of the technology. It doesn't really matter. I'm not married to it. I don't care. But I'm looking as a day trade to see how I could make some money off it. And here's where it just popped. Here, I mean, it was sitting at 252, popped all the way up to I think that's 425. I believe that's a high. It's about 427, we'll say, in the pre-market. These are 5 minute candles, so it had just it absolutely just completely accelerated. So coming down here, and just one second, I just want to answer somebody in the room. There we go, a little multitasking there. So anyway, here was the pullback though that I was watching. And as usual, wanted to see if it could break through four. I think 425 was the high, and in the pre-market. And this little action got me in because you see a little bit of a flag, and then the pop. Let's see what the volume was. The volume, I mean, here's the volume bar 5 minutes before, and the volume increased. Now it wasn't like this one, but still it definitely increased. So that gave me the confidence to get in. Now, did it give me the confidence to hang on? Unfortunately not, because I was just looking. I even said in the room that this might just be a scalp, and so I took some out here at 416. I took some more out at 428, and then I decided to hold on this action. I decided to hold on and exited the balance at 549. So, I mean, a great trade, 408 to 549, not a lot of time. And we'll have to watch this one tomorrow. Now, this is another one of those. I think if I bring up the weekly chart, yeah, you see, last week, I mean, just last week, it had a 1 for 15 reverse split. It's crazy because, a lot of these reverse splits. The VLTC was one. The PBTI is another one. They've actually done not too badly. My experience with reverse splits in the past has just been when this happens, they just continue to go down. And so, but some of these are just are working now. Why they did a reverse split right here, knowing I'm sure they knew full well that within 2 weeks they were going to have this announcement. So anyway, that was the Givo trade. So again, have to watch it going forward. Now. The next one, didn't missed out on this one, and this is another example of why getting a little bit distracted and losing sight of these opening range breaks. I've said that these opening range breaks probably should be watched all day long because if they fail the first time, doesn't mean but if they trigger a second time or even a third time, really we should be watching them. So the opening range, 30-minute opening range break was right here. No, in fact, let me find it exactly because I don't think it was right there. I think, just one second. Yeah, actually the break was right here at oh my goodness, I've lost it again. Here we are, 1025, 67.05 was the price. All right, 67.05. So I ended up taking the trade a little bit late, 67.17, and it just jogged around a little bit, and I was afraid it was going to break down through the whole number, so I decided to exit right here for a 14-cent loss, 67.03. It actually got down here, but then it popped back, and you see right here could have taken the trade again. And, right here at 67.17 could have taken the trade and it popped all the way up to 67.76. I mean, would I have got the absolute high? Probably not, but it certainly would have made good money. And then later on, I mean, the same thing. I mean, it popped back through the opening range and it just basically hit that high again. So there were two opportunities for me to trade this again, and I just flat out missed it. VRSK, oh yeah, VRSK was another. Now this actually, another one that came from the 30-minute opening range break. Right here, 30-minute opening range break, 71.66 or 71.76. And let's see what it did. So 71.76 is right around there. So it hit it right there. This one, it accelerated immediately. And I took the trade right here at 71.85. Excuse me. Had it came back down, of course, I would have exited the trade, but I decided to take it this time. Now, I have to admit that I was a little reluctant at the beginning because it was close to the whole number, and I was wondering if it would get stuck at the whole number. But it was relatively early in the day, and I find that sometimes, if it's relatively early, then it's about 45 minutes into the day, that some of them. Excuse me. In fact, let me back up. It was not late in the day, but it wasn't here. I'm sorry, that's what I really meant to say. Here is where it gets really whippy. When the market opens and go up and down, up and down. But here the market has had a little bit of time to stabilize, 45 minutes in. So that's why I decided to take it. Had this happened right there, probably I would not have taken the trade. And had it kept going without me, oh well, there are many opportunities still. So, but this time, because it was reasonably, into the trading session, I decided to take the trade. 71.85. Got all the way up to 72.94. Of course, was hoping for that breakthrough 72. Did not happen. Mentioned in the room, I think right at this point that I was up a dollar in the trade, but then it started coming down, so I exited the trade right here at 72. What is that number? That's actually 72.64 is where I exited the trade, and it's sort of held it right here in that area, so it hasn't completely collapsed. But a really nice alert on that opening range, 30-minute opening range break. Now the other one that I am in, let's see. I might have to get out of it now. This is what I was saying. I have some other discretionary type trades that I do. Got into this one, broke over the whole number. It looked like a strong play. I took a look at when I looked at the weekly chart, you see how it's broken free through all this consolidation right here. It's having a tremendous day up for it. It's up over 6%. And going forward, as a swing trade, let's just take a look at the monthly on it. What do we got? Yeah, monthly looks good. quarterly looks good. In fact, obviously this is where it started. So obviously right now we're making all-time highs. If I had my lifetime high alerts up, I would probably have seen this one. So, this is why I took it though. I took it because of the weekly on the break out of this consolidation. So, and I thought when it broke through 10 that it might be a nice trade. But, it's really done that not that much. I mean, I took it right here and, I did kind of, bounced around, suffered through this little tail here, but it popped up immediately. But it's really done not that much. It's only got as high as 1041. But right now I'm still in a winning position in at 1013. So I will hold on to it. I think if it got down to about 10, probably 1023 or so, I would exit the trade. Now I want to show you a couple of other ones. Now these are optimized strategies that are not available yet. They're going to be available, excuse me, they're going to be available on the in the optimized channel more than likely in June. You will need a subscription to the odds maker for access to this channel. But take a look at this one. This is one that we have not shared and we probably won't share. It'll come. I call this one Run, and I got the alert Yelp 4271. Now this one, and I missed it. I mean, I didn't miss it in terms of I saw it happening, but I didn't take the trade. But right here is where the alert happened. 42, right, sorry, right around here. But you could have still got in later on. It pulled back. And then if you decided to take it on the second one, well, 4271 to 4702. I mean, that's a type of trade that can make your month, all right? And when I check the history on this particular alert, um, there were some really good ones, some really, really nice alerts on this one. So I'm excited about having this one. I'm excited about the 30-minute opening range break. Now, let me tell you about the 30-minute opening range break. Again, you have to use some common sense. And with all of them, if they're a long trade, I mean, if the market is going against you, if it's really starting to, go down, maybe pause a bit. Maybe don't take it that day if the market is very weak. Now, we haven't had a day that's down 300 in a long time. It's coming. I mean, there will be a day in which we'll have a day like that. Now, it's possible then we won't get any breaks to go long. I mean, that makes sense too. But if you do, and the market is all of a sudden starting to go against you, I would probably wait. That will probably increase your odds. If you take the trade and it starts to go up and then you get whipped out of it, you might say, heck, it doesn't work. But if the market's going against you, I mean, these, yes, they are odds maker tested. They are optimized, absolutely, but nothing is 100%. Not every, even if the market's going with you and you take the trade, doesn't mean the trade's going to work. A lot of these are optimized at, about 67%, which means 2 out of every 3 trades in theory will work at this, for the day that they're optimized. But so if you start to cherry pick, there's an issue too. If you start to cherry pick and say, well, I'll only take these ones, well, you might be in the 33% that aren't working. And I know I'm maybe starting to contradict myself a little bit by saying, well, don't take the trade if the market's going down. I think, you'll get some experience with them. I mean, that's what I'm finding. I mean, sometimes I tend to wait just a little bit to see if there's a continuation. And on the 30-minute opening range break, depends at the time of day that it happens. I mean, if it happens, well, of course, in the 30-minute, it's got to at least be at least 30 minutes. But I have a 15-minute one. If it happens at the 15 and the market is doing well, I may take it. But what if the spread is bad? I mean, I can show you one here. I think that Rare was one that was triggered too. Oh, let me try to find it right here. Now, Rare is 62.95. Well, let's see what it did. I mean, it may be fine right now. It wasn't that bad. In fact, 62.95, it worked out great. But this was a real, so the alert happened right here. The problem with it is that is lightly traded, big spread, so you may not be comfortable doing it. My suggestion in something like that is, take fewer shares, wider stop, and hang on, because obviously this would have been another fantastic one to get into. When I looked at it, the spread was probably 40 cents, and I just, didn't feel comfortable doing it. And the other thing is I was getting other alerts, but my thing right now is that and maybe one other, maybe my bounces. I do not get very many alerts in my bounce strategy. These might be the only two windows that I'm going to have open now with trade ideas, which is a far cry from what I used to have, guys. So anyway, going on, rambling on a little bit. Um, but I hope I'm giving you a little insight. Somebody in the room, a new trader in the room, or new to trade ideas said, I have so many strategies open, I'm not getting anything done. And that was me 4 or 5 years ago when I first joined Trade Ideas. Well, bought the program. I had 18 windows open and I had every strategy known to man, and I was getting nothing done. I literally was getting nothing done. I was clicking, I had so many things I was clicking on all day long. Everything looked great, was getting nothing done. And so the idea right now is to keep it absolutely simple. And you know what? If you get a day in which you're not getting very many alerts, so what? You know, some wise trader told me, I can't remember who it was, but in any given month, you may only have 4 or 5 trading, really good trading days out of the 22. The rest of them are kind of a grind, and the trick is to try to maximize on those 4 or 5 trading days and not give it away on the 18 where you're grinding. Trying to taking iffy and specky type trades and giving away everything you made on the good days. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm gone on a little too long, but hope you get the gist. And I'm super excited about this optimized channel, guys. I mean, I haven't seen it. It is really starting to hum, and it's only going to get better once they stop with or finish with this e-signal project. They will be coming up with more strategies. And the other idea is that the strategies will be divided. So you'll have the optimized channel. You will need the odds maker to get into it. Yes, that'll be a requisite. But within the optimized channel, there will be channels. So if you are more of a day trader, there'll be a day trader's channel, and maybe there'll be one for short, one for long. If you're a swing trader, like to go 5, 6 days, there'll be one for that. If you are a longer term position trader, they'll probably have one for that. They'll have short strategies, long strategies. So there should be enough channels within that to give you as a type of trader, it'll give you some choices. And so that's why I'm really excited about it. And it should happen sometime in June. All right, that is definitely it. Again, here's the address to get into our room. Log in with your Facebook, your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.